What's up, YouTube? It's me, Country Boy, and I'm back with another video, man. Today is something different, man. We finna be reacting to this P Diddy stuff, man. There's a lot going on today in this world. There's a lot going on, y'all, man, and we must pay attention. We must pay attention, and this is gonna be my first time watching it, reacting to it with y'all guys, my family. It's only right I do it with y'all, man. But we gonna get into it today, man. We gotta see what's going on, man. There's a lot going on out here. And it's crazy, But this stuff been going on, y'all. It's just now coming to light. You know they say, what's done in the dark come to the light. And, hey, here we is. But we finna be reacting to it today. We finna see what's going on with P Diddy, man. Cause P Diddy been going through it. You feel me? P Diddy been doing a lot. I've been hearing stuff about baby oil, all type of stuff. We gotta figure it out, y'all. Let's get into it, man. Let's react to it. Let's see what's going on. Let's see what this man done. And y'all tell me at the end, do y'all feel as if he guilty or he not? You know. But we're going to be reacting to it today. See what's going on, man. Let's see what's going on.
P Diddy behind bars and indicted on federal sex trafficking and racketeering allegations. But those aren't the only accusations Diddy's facing. In fact, there are dozens of allegations dating as far back as the 90s. We're breaking down all 47 shocking allegations against P Diddy and what all this could mean for the future of his case. I'm Sierra Gillespie, and this is Law and Crime.
Let's stop it right there. 47? Diddy? 47? Shocking? Allegation. Now, these are allegations now. But it's 47 of them, and it's shocking. But we finna get into it, Diddy. We gotta figure out what's going on with you, partner. Let's figure out what's going on with Diddy, y'all.
News. Sean Diddy Combs has now been behind bars for 1 week after he was indicted by a federal grand jury on some pretty serious charges. And with this major development in the case comes a renewed interest in the many allegations against the now disgraced rapper. So let's start with the federal indictment. That lists nearly 20 allegations against Diddy in support of the charges he faces: racketeering conspiracy, sex trafficking by force, fraud, or coercion, and transportation to engage in prostitution. From the jump on page 1, prosecutors come out swinging, alleging Diddy is guilty of sex trafficking, forced labor, kidnapping, arson, bribery, and obstruction of justice. The indictment goes on to allege Diddy showed a pattern of abuse, mostly against women, that included verbal, emotional, physical, and sexual abuse, including the use of extensive grooming tactics. So let's break these down a bit. Of the physical abuse, Diddy is accused of throwing, punching, kicking, and dragging.
Hey, she said a mouthful right there. We're gonna pause right there. But she said a mouthful right there. A mouthful, Diddy, man. 47 though? That is crazy. 47 is crazy to me, man. This been going on for a long time, man. I'm talking about a long time, y'all. We let some stuff slide. This been going. Now everybody wanna jump down this door. Man, that man been doing that, Diddy. But man, we finna get into it. And we gotta let's just figure this out, cause man, this has been going on for so long. Let's go.
Some of his victims. We saw proof of that this spring when CNN released the infamous hotel video showing Diddy brutally assault his then-girlfriend Cassie in a hotel hallway. That incident isn't blatantly referenced in the federal indictment, and neither are any names. So we'll get to the specifics on that when we take a look at the civil suits against Diddy. But the indictment does allege that Diddy hid his victims for days at a time to recover from the injuries he inflicted without being publicly observed. Federal prosecutors allege Diddy instigated these victims into his orbit and then forced them to participate in something he called freak-offs. These freak-offs were elaborate and produced sex performances that Combs arranged, directed, masturbated during, and often electronically recorded. So during these sessions, Diddy would force victims to use drugs, have sex with prostitutes, prostitutes and be recorded doing all this, sometimes without their knowledge. Diddy also allegedly forced victims to carry illegal firearms, often through coercion and the assistance of his associates working for the Combs enterprise. Not only would these associates help suppress the victims, but they also arranged the freak-offs by booking hotel rooms and stocking the rooms with required freak-off necessities like baby oil or personal lubricant. These associates would also procure sex workers and IVs that were given to both Combs and the victims after these freak-off sessions to help them recover from the physical exertion and drug use. As part of all...
Man. Diddy. Baby oil, man, and a freak-off. What's a freak-off? Like, this is getting out of hand, y'all. A freak-off, they call it a freak-off. Dang, Diddy. That's crazy. A freak-off with baby oil, all type of this. Hey, yeah, that's a freak-off. Damn, Diddy. Gotta watch what you doing nowadays, man. All that money. You doing this now. This just allegations now. We don't know if this is true or not. It's just allegation and we reacting to it. So far, we in the freak out. Whatever they calling it, we in the freak out zone. Diddy, come on now. But it sounded like R. Kelly type cases. Like, it's giving me R. Kelly vibes, man. Like what went on with him. But man, let's get back into it, man. Let's get back into it. Let's see what's going on.
Diddy and his associates transported and caused to be transported commercial sex workers across state lines and internationally. Okay, I know you're multitasking when you're watching our videos, and if you're out running errands, listen up. I have to tell you about the free app Upside that gets you cash back on daily.
Never pay for Wi-Fi again. InstaBridge is a free app with 20 million Wi-Fi passwords all over the world.
Essentials. I now use it every time.
Man, we're gonna skip that.
According to Jane Doe's suit, she met one of Diddy's associates in Michigan and was flown on Diddy's private jet to his studio in New York. Jane Doe also provided pictures of her with Diddy in the studio, bolstering her accusations. Once there, Diddy allegedly drugged Jane Doe and forced her to drink alcohol. After that, he allegedly raped her before sending her back to the Midwest. It's a similar story from Liza Gardner, who also filed civil suit last fall. She alleges Diddy also raped her in New York, but way back in 1990. Gardner's lawsuit alleges she and a friend met Diddy at a party, and then at an after party, he gave her alcohol. He then allegedly raped her before another man also raped her. During all this, both men allegedly also raped Gardner's friend. A couple days later, Combs came to the home where Liza Gardner and her friend were staying. He was irate and began assaulting and choking Liza Gardner to the point that she passed out. That brings us to the next allegation that has stark similarities to Liza Gardner's. Joy Dickerson Neal alleges Diddy raped her in 1991, also in New York. Echoing what prosecutors would write in a federal indictment against Diddy, Dickerson Neal alleges Diddy recorded this sexual assault. Her lawsuit also argues that she's the victim of revenge porn, as Diddy showed this recording to multiple people without her consent. All three of these civil lawsuits were filed last November under the New York Survivors Act. And so too was a bombshell civil suit filed by Cassandra Ventura, Diddy's ex-girlfriend, who's also known as the singer Cassie. It was with Cassie's lawsuit that we first heard in-depth accusations about Diddy's alleged illegal activity. To start, there's the gun allegation that on at least 2 occasions, Diddy demanded Cassie hold his gun in her purse. The lawsuit goes on to state, quote, "There was no clear reason why Mr. Combs required her to hold his guns, except to reinforce to his young girlfriend that he was violent, powerful, and dangerous." Beyond the gun allegations, Cassie put forth some other major accusations in her 35-page lawsuit. She says Diddy beat her.
Man, I'm gonna pause it right there. Now, ain't this the woman that? Well, yeah, this her. She got beat We seen the video of that. That was crazy, man. That was crazy. But didn't he pay this woman right here, this Cassie woman? Did he pay her? Man, what's going on? That should be a crime. She didn't. I don't know, man. Is that a crime? He didn't pay the woman to keep quiet. She took the money. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a crime, man. It's crime all the way around this situation. But Diddy, he knew he was wrong in that situation. What he did, now it's all catching up to him. But man, it's crazy. Like, it's crimes all around the board on with this Diddy situation. Damn, Diddy. Damn. Let's get back into it, y'all. I ain't gonna keep stopping, man, but this story on Diddy, man, it's crazy. It's crazy, man. We gotta watch out, y'all. We gotta watch out, but let's get back into it.
Sometimes so severely that she had to hide out in hotels for days at a time, waiting for the bruises to heal. Cassie also alleged Diddy raped her and forced her to have sex with prostitutes, and even recorded this. Then there's the allegation that Diddy got jealous when Cassie began flirting with rapper Kid Cudi in 2011. Cassie says that in 2012, Diddy told her that he was going to blow up Kid Cudi's car, and that he wanted to ensure that Kid Cudi was home with his friends when it happened. Around that time, Kid Cudi's car exploded in his driveway. The allegations brought forth in Cassie's lawsuit were shocking, and so too were the accusations brought months later in yet another civil suit filed by Rodney Jones, also known as the producer Lil Rod. He began working with Diddy in 2022 on the Love album, and soon, he alleges, the abuse began. Lil Rod accuses Diddy of sexual assault, writing he was, quote, the victim of constant, unsolicited, and unauthorized groping and touching of his anus by Mr. Combs. He also alleges Diddy and his team were grooming Lil Rod to engage in gay sex. Lil Rod further alleges that Diddy forced him to have sex with prostitutes and even drugged Lil Rod to get him to comply. On top of these sexual assault allegations, Lil Rod's lawsuit also alleges that Diddy ran a gun and drug trafficking scheme. He says there are hundreds of hours of footage and audio recordings of Mr. Combs, his staff, and his guests engaging in some serious illegal activity because Diddy apparently forced Lil Rod to constantly record him. The allegations continue, saying that Diddy covered up multiple shootings. To start, there's the New York nightclub shooting in 1999. Lil Rod alleges Diddy required his then-girlfriend Jennifer Lopez to transport his illegal firearm into the NYC nightclub. The court docs also allege Diddy forced his then-artist Shine to assume responsibility for the shooting of several individuals. Lil Rod's civil suit points to another alleged cover-up too, this time for a shooting outside Diddy's Chalice Studios on September 12, 2022. According to court docs, Diddy, his son Justin, and Justin's friend referred to as G were all there when things got heated. Lil Rod heard multiple gunshots ring out, and then he found G on the bathroom floor in the fetal position. Lil Rod says he was bleeding out of his hip and leg area. After that, Mr. Combs gave strict instructions to inform the police that he had nothing to do with the shooting. He also forced Mr. Jones to lie to the police by telling them that G was shot standing outside the studio by a drive-by assailant. So that specific allegation involves Diddy's son Justin, but another allegation and entirely separate civil suit involves his other son, Christian, or King Combs. Grace Omar K alleges that Christian Combs sexually assaulted her on a yacht in December 2022, and all this was facilitated by Diddy. That suit was filed
playing in these games.
In May, former model Crystal McKinney filed suit against Diddy too, alleging he drugged and sexually assaulted her in his New York studio back in 2003. Diddy's former bad boy artists
So I was dating this guy Chris for years.
have spoken out too, including members of Danity Kane, the girl group that Diddy helped form on MTV's Making the Band 3. Singer Aubrey O'Day alleges Diddy underpaid members of the band and later offered her the publishing rights to her songs if she signed an NDA. And there was a catch to that.
And in order to get that, I have to release him for any claims or wrongdoings or actions prior to the date of the release. I have to sign an NDA that I will never disparage Puff, Bad Boy, Janice Combs, or Justin Combs' music or...
I'm gonna stop it right there on her, man. Look, now we ain't playing the race card, but man, hey, look at the skin now. I'm just saying, man. I speak now, it's 2024. Man, that man been doing this, man. Why we doing this now? He been doing this, why you doing this now? And he ain't the only one that's doing this to you. Tell on everybody else if you gonna tell on him. I'm just saying though, man. I'm just saying, y'all, at this point, all y'all people, I'm gonna call y'all some gold diggers. At this point, I'm gonna call y'all gold diggers. Now, it might have happened to y'all, and I'm sorry if it did. You know, it's messed up. It's a messed up situation, but man, y'all knew this dude was like this. Y'all know these people like this over there. Y'all know they like this over there. Signing in all that stuff to keep quiet and somehow, you know, it's just crazy, man. But man, we finna get back into it. Let's hear her story. Let's hear what she gotta say.
For EMI or Sony ever in public.
Just this month, Aubrey O'Day's Danity Kane bandmate Dawn Richard filed suit against Diddy. She alleged Diddy verbally and sexually abused her, all with the intentional infliction of emotional distress. There are so many layers to this story, dozens of allegations, civil suits, and criminal charges. And all this while Diddy sits behind bars in the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn. But let's begin with those federal charges. Here's former federal prosecutor Gene Rossi. So going off and talking about those 3 charges, initially to me, when I looked over the indictment, I was like, only 3? It's only 14 pages? That's kind of small, short. But according to you, it sounds like RICO could be a giant charge.
I was surprised when I read this indictment that it is so short. What that tells me is the prosecutors just wanted to get this indictment out there to move this case along. And, you know, given the scope of this case, 14 pages is nothing. I predict that they're going to supersede, amend the indictment, and maybe not add more charges, but add more allegations.
Oh, they coming.
Charge.
They coming for his money.
More meat to the bones.
Better know that. They coming for your money, boy.
A speaking indictment is one that's very, very detailed. It's almost like reading a novel. And a speaking indictment can be over 100 pages. This one is sort of a bare bones general indictment that I predict the federal prosecutors are going to amend, supersede, and add more information.
So you said they'll likely add more allegations, more information to kind of beef up their argument, but we still only have these 3 charges. And I'm sure the federal prosecutors are bringing the ones that they can get a conviction on, right? The ones that have the most amount of evidence against Diddy. Do you think that's why they're
just ready to testify on? What you mean?
I think they only need 3, and here's why. The RICO charge is so expansive that if they only use that one count, RICO, that would be enough for me. So they don't need 20, 30 counts. If they have 3 or 4 core good counts, that's enough, because that RICO charge by itself is an extremely serious charge.
As far as a potential conviction, obviously down the line, and as you said, Diddy is presumed innocent, but if there is a conviction, what sort of sentence could he face? Multiple years behind bars?
Under the sentencing guidelines, which are not binding
on 30-40.
He's looking at significant time. Probably my back of the envelope arithmetic calculation is at least 10 years.
These people be trying to throw the book at people, boy. These days.
We're proud
to support Bernie's well-deserved me time. Lazy boy, long live the lazy.
At least.
Criminal defense attorney Adam Conta agrees.
10 years,
The
that's
federal
crazy.
indictment is problematic for Diddy.
It lays out
He gonna get
what they
more than
believe is
that.
a pattern of illegal activity, all in the names and the furtherance of the Combs enterprise. I think it lacks some details, but we have, because this is an ongoing investigation and because it's sort of been in the public sphere for a while, we have more details than we normally would. They've laid out a pattern of conspiracy and racketeering that they've charged him with. But part of that is obviously that one of the victims is his ex-girlfriend Kathy, who filed.
I'm gonna pause it right there. With this racketeering and all that charge, Donald Trump got a racketeering charge, right, didn't he? I don't know, but as they call his was a classy felony. It's still a felony, right? Why he ain't gone? You know what I'm saying? Like, man, yeah, this is it's a difference in the crimes and what was taking place. But man, hey, if you, like they say, man, if you do the crime, go do the time. You know what I'm saying? And in this case, Diddy might have to go do some time behind this stuff. If he did it. Now, these are allegations right now. It's just what it is. But it is crazy. 47 shocking ones. They say he got 47 shocking allegations on you, Diddy. Man, bro, what's wrong with you? Man, you doing the most, man. All that money doing the most. If you want some P that bad, man, go out on the street. There's plenty out there for $40. I mean, you could have paid anybody $40 to probably get some of that and go crazy on them and just leave them alone. But you went crazy. Hey, you going crazy. You do the most, but eat your own, bro. What's done in the dark come to the light. But let's get right back into it, y'all. Let's get into it.
This major lawsuit last year in November against him, but we kind of have the details from that lawsuit as well, so we can kind of insert those as really the jump off point to how we got here now today. But he's got some real legal challenges ahead of him, absolutely.
You brought up a good point about the pattern, showing that Diddy had a pattern to break the law in this many ways. And it all goes back kind of to Cassie and the civil suit that she filed.
And that's where it's going back to, that girl.
For several years, she alleges some pretty serious accusations against him.
That girl
so
right there,
how
bro.
is Cassie going to be in regards to
because we seen them,
she's gonna be incredibly important
beat
in
her.
terms of her lawsuit is really what opened up the public's attention to it, and so that's really what got everyone going. That's what got the authorities looking into her more. I mean, it was only a year ago that he got the key to the city here in New York, and now here he is indicted in the Southern District, right? So what happened in a year for someone to have fallen so far, and not just got the keys to the city a year ago? He was what was it? He was given like the Lifetime Achievement Award in the VMAs. That was just last year too. I mean, this is someone who is at the top of the public sphere in terms of reverence, in terms of respect, in terms of what they mean to the city and to the community. And for it to turn around this fast, I think we have to look directly at Cassie and her lawsuit filed on November 16th. And even though they settled it a day later, again, the details of what was alleged got out there. And then what that really did, just like the Me Too movement, it started other people who were alleged victims of his thinking, well, maybe now is my time to come forward. If in fact that they felt threatened by Diddy, if in fact they were
come on, man, be real with it.
Through
be real with it. We know what's
violent threats, through physical threats, through emotional threats, and potentially of having whatever acts they committed with Diddy being recorded and even having those used against them as electronic threats. After Cassie's lawsuit, they started to come out, and then you saw another lawsuit in December, and then another one, and another one, and so there were a couple that came out that really started steamrolling this sort of this change in a public opinion of him, just like happened with R. Kelly. Although these are separate charges and they have not been proven like R. Kelly's, but just like in R. Kelly, just
like R. Kelly cases, man. Just like R. Kelly cases, man. Straight up. Like he talking facts, man. Real, just like R. Kelly case.
Care about is a job well done. But when you get your
But
a little while to kind of get around this notion of this pop superstar who we've grown to love for decades, and now kind of peel back the onions to his personal persona that could be quite disturbing. And so, even though she is not going to be, she might not be doing interviews, and she might not be out there sort of as the public figurehead of this indictment, she's certainly at the genesis of it and is the reason this whole thing got rolling.
And what continued the ball rolling was Lil Rod's suit. For this, I'll turn to former prosecutor Melba Pearson. Obviously, every lawsuit is very important in this case, but Lil Rod actually mentions hundreds of hours of video footage. He's talking about these illegal activities, making these pretty severe allegations, but says, hey, there's audio, video, photos. Do you think that was a big reason why the feds executed those search warrants back in March?
Absolutely, because they had to seize all of that evidence to be able to use it at trial later on down the line. So they now had specific things they were looking for, because remember, a search warrant can't just be a fishing expedition. You have to be able to detail in the warrant what you're expecting to find or what you are seeking. And so with Little Rod's lawsuit, the feds were able to be like, okay, we're looking for video. We're looking for surveillance video that may have been located in this particular room. We're looking for a particular time frame when these incidences occurred. So what evidence can we find that substantiates what occurred during that time frame while we're looking through the house? So it all came together to be able to give the feds the information they needed to be able to do these searches effectively, follow the trail of evidence, and then lead to the indictment.
All roads kind of lead back to these civil suits, because obviously now we have the criminal side of things, which you talked about, and that's going to be something we'll follow closely. But the civil side is kind of what paved the way. And I'm wondering now that Diddy is in custody, what's going to happen to these civil suits? Are they stalled? What would that look like?
What generally happens is that the civil attorneys will sort of wait and see what happens in the criminal case, because so much of the evidence that comes out of the criminal case can be a treasure trove for the civil lawsuit. So, for instance, if Diddy were to get on the stand and testify, which I highly doubt he would, if he were to get on the stand and testify, his testimony can be admissible in the civil lawsuit, especially if he gives conflicting statements. He can be what we called impeached, or basically, to use the colloquialism, basically called out, like, hey, you said this on this date, now at the criminal trial, now at the civil trial you're saying something different, which is the truth, that sort of thing. So, I think that the civil lawsuits may be on pause. Not to say that they're going to be dropped or anything along those lines, but the criminal case is what's going to take precedence right now. And then once that's disposed of meaning guilty plea or a trial, guilty, not guilty, whatever the case may be in this trial, then the civil lawsuits will pick back up again.
After his arrest, Diddy pleaded not guilty to federal charges. A statement from his legal team reads, quote, Sean Diddy Combs is a music icon, self-made entrepreneur, loving family man, and proven philanthropist who has spent the last 30 years building an empire, adoring his children, and working to uplift the Black community. He is an imperfect person, but is not criminal. To his credit, Mr. Combs has been nothing but cooperative with this investigation, and he voluntarily relocated to New York last week in anticipation of these charges. Please reserve your judgment until you have all the facts. These are the acts of an innocent man with nothing to hide, and he looks forward to clearing his name in court. That was a look at all 47 shocking allegations against disgraced rapper P Diddy. To be sure you never miss an update in his case, make sure to subscribe to our YouTube page.
Man, that's it, y'all. 47 shocking allegations on the P Diddy case, man. It's crazy, man. As I was saying through it, though, man, Trump in trouble too. Well, he a felon. They call it classy. He was doing the same thing, but a little different. R. Kelly locked up. They throwing people away like and it's colored people. They throwing people away, bro. We need to pay attention. It don't matter. It don't matter, man. What's going on? You doing crime, you get put away. I don't care who you is and how much money you got. You just gotta go, but man, leave me some comments down below, man. Tell me what y'all think of P Diddy. Is he guilty of all of these crimes? We know he done wrong with that Cassie girl, if I'm saying her name right. We know he done wrong by her. We see video of that. But all them other allegations that they coming out with, do y'all think is true, or what y'all think, man? Leave me some comments down below, man. Tell me what y'all think, man. Is they after his money? You know, because he is high power. He power. He got some power now. Is they after his money, or they just trying to tear his image down as a black man? Y'all tell me what y'all think. Leave me some comments down below, man. Until next time, y'all. Until the next reaction, y'all. I'm out of here. Peace.